Hey, how's it going, my friends? So we're back, and today I'm gonna do something different, guys. I'm gonna do some anime and manga, and mainly anime today. But I've been thinking of learning Japanese, and I think I'll do it. But there's so much content anyway on anime that I might as well just start gaining the fans, because I know like a lot of fans don't really speak anime, don't really speak Japanese. So I'm gonna cover my favorite animes, some in English, some in Spanish, and then I'll do it the same way for French, and eventually, if I learn Japanese, which I think 50% at this point, that I'll learn it, and I'll start covering the Japanese content. And today's been a really eventful day because I feel like the world, there's so much, at least a social sphere, there's so much going on, all this cultural war, that I just get caught up in that sometimes. Like I just like read a lot on that, watch videos, try to understand what really is going on. But anyway, so let's just continue. So Gundam Wing and Endless Waltz and OVA. So I watched the whole series and watched the OVA, and then I wrote this review. I could do like episode by episode breakdown. I'll do it in English, but I don't know, maybe sometime in the future. But right now I have so much going on. But I just wanted to test the waters with this, just with that Rebelde Way stuff. I tested the waters. I wanted to test the waters with the Gundam to see, well, how will the audience react. So Gundam Wing is a series released in 1996. It has 6 installments of the. It's the 6th installment of the Gundam franchise. Unlike the previous entries in the series, Wing was part of its self-contained timeline called After Colony. The show was developed by directors Akira Takamatsu and writer Sumisawa. And I think I want to watch the first Gundam, and let's see how it goes. Honestly, guys, I'll do it. If the demand is there, I'll do it, and I'll see what happens. But most likely, I'm going to do Shaman King first, but I'm not 100% sure right now. Like, the series about that conflict between Earth and space colonies. The Gundam pilots, the heroes of the story, are on the side of the colonies, while the villains also are on the side of the Earth. Although there's no clear villain like in most animes. Well, let's continue. Although there's no clear villain like in most animes, instead it's mostly a different battle that explores the nature of war. For instance, some recurring themes are whenever or not conflicts are worth fighting for, if war is inevitable and a part of humanity, and what is the role of soldiers in war or at war. So guys, this is very interesting because I was reading that book on war, and I know it's from the 1950s, and I think some guy affiliated with Columbia University. Honestly, at this point, I can't pinpoint exactly a book. I'll probably put it down there on the description. But I find all these ideas very interesting because at least they're trying to explore something. Like sometimes some anime, I feel like it's a bit more trivial, like they're just battling each other. But with this show, there's a justification, and it's very interesting. And just seeing the characters as well, like they're very distinct. It seems more like a K-pop band in a way, because I know it's like this show is very popular with female audiences as well, because the guys look like a pop band or something like a K-pop. And I think with guys, like the story is really interesting, and we'll see. Because I really like a lot of elements in. And let's just continue. So characters. Gundam has memorable characters that have stood the test of time. Some of my favorite characters are Relina, my favorite, Hero, Trowa, Duo, Quattro, and Wu-Fei. And actually, like, I would say Relina is definitely one of my favorites. And honestly, I like all of them. Quattro, I like. Wu-Fei has grown on me because at first I didn't understand what was going on, but then he has like a cooler story. He has a rivalry with like some really important main characters. And yeah, Chowa I always liked. Duo, he plays basketball. Hero, he is like the bad boy of the story, quote unquote. And the villain Sex, Trace, Noah, Lady Une, Dorothy. They're also really interesting. And I really like how gentlemanly and how honorable people are. And I don't know if it's a trait of. That's the thing that appeals to me the most about this show. That I think it might have been Tracer that he says that he has a castle and he just sees certain things as dishonorable. Like, it kind of gives me a Catholic vibe to it. Maybe, like, I don't know if the castles were inside by Versailles, but just give me that sort of vibe, like a more elegant culture, you know? We have interesting female characters like Sally, Christina, and Catherine. I think my favorite were Rolina, Ufe, and Tracer. Rolina because she's beautiful, elegant, and has incredible diplomatic skills. Ufe because he seems to have noble intentions, and a soldier on why he fights. Like, he really questions things. Tracer, even though he likes war, he's also a nobleman of honor. Tracer believes that one should do your enemies if they have wronged you. So Tracer, like, this is a very honorable book, and this really appeals to me. So in characters, I wrote a 9.4 out of 10. Story, well, the story was compelling. I would say their story was the weakest part of the show. The story had too many twists and turns, especially near the end. While I know some people like unpredictability, and this is maybe my criticism of people who watch a lot of TV. These guys are so into like twists because every episode they want it to be different. Well, at least now with the Netflix shows and this like new generation, they have a pack of episodes available, so you don't need like, hey, a new twist. You know, it all can be much smoothly. You know, much smoother. So while I know some people like unpredictability, I felt that the story turned from heroes to villains too quickly. For instance, Sex went from an officer obeying orders to a rebel turning on laws to a villain when leading the white fang. The same could be said about Tracer, who seemed like flip-flopping. Like, again, like the antagonists were flip-flopping too much, and it was a bit confusing at first, but it also like cheapens their character. Each time like somebody switch sides too much, like it has to be a very strong switch. Like, why do they change? Like, I know like a lot of you guys are Dragon Ball fans, so I feel, for instance, with Vegeta, like he was evil at first, but then like he had a strong change. Like, he was defeated by Goku, and that's why he changed. It felt like the change, it merited the change. While here with Sex and Teresa, like they're just flip-flopping too much. Overall, the story was emotionally satisfying, especially the end. And if you've seen it, like, come on, guys, like it's a long time, but like Hero saved the day. But it was emotionally satisfying. Even the goal of the ending the conflict between Earth and the after colonies was accomplished. Yeah, like it was satisfying, but at least. But I see now like this whole flip-flopping, like it's not that appealing. Setting. The main settings are Earth and the outer space colonies. There's a lot of elegance and noble character in the anime locations, which I enjoy. Within this, I would say that two locations that stood the most were the Glass Kingdom and the Circus. The Glass Kingdom, because it was where Rolina and Sex were from. And sorry if I'm butchering Sex's name, because I'll fix it some other time, but like you can expect concert halls, school ballrooms, and conference rooms. So I really love this, and I think this might be like French culture, like primarily, and then Japanese culture likes that European influence, so they take it from there. Like this whole concert halls, ballrooms, like this thing, like a hot culture. Like it's like definitely like a high culture that I sense here. In terms of the circus, it was a unique setting. Moreover, I like how we learn more about Troa's sister Catherine. So I'm really, growing up, I remember I watched this show and I really enjoyed the circus and how that came about. Like, I've never seen like a circus setting before. Like, of course, I know that Joker and all this stuff, but like, I never like explored the idea of having a circus in a story, and just like getting to know the circus. I plan on writing a novel, graphic novel in Spanish about the circus. I'm influenced by Tronic, but that's something, a side note as well, guys. But very, very interesting setting. As I said, like both excellent, really good setting. So continue. Themes. The director puts significant emphasis on the themes. While the list is exhaustive, the main idea is to explore the concepts of war and peace. Some of the recurring questions were, why do we fight wars? What is the role of a soldier during a war? Is action inherently part of human nature? Can we stop fighting each other? Is peace merely temporary? While the director's philosophical musings didn't entirely convince me, I still felt compelled to reflect on the themes. So guys, like I feel like, quote unquote, this would be like a brainy show. Not as excessive for Evangelion, because one thing is to be brainy and another thing is just to be excessive. Like, I feel like Narnia is brainy, while Lord of the Rings, it just seems a bit excessive, like it becomes self-indulgent at a certain point. So, well, here I felt the director was like asking all the right questions for you as a viewer to reflect later. So why do we fight wars? What is the role of a soldier during war? And is violence inherently part of human nature? And there are still questions I grapple with even today, or like sometimes when I'm like dreaming or thinking, I just think about all these ideas. It's very interesting, I would say. Definitely the themes are shown. I swear back. And also, like, the author was Kenneth Waltz, that he wrote about war, and it was very interesting. And I feel like that book, like 70% chance I read it, because I'm definitely very interested in it and the ideas that are put forth. So definitely expect that, but not right now, not anytime soon. So here the music, guys. So the music was one of the most vital of the show. 2 Mix, a J-pop band, does a stellar job with 2 openings, Just Communication and Rhythm and Emotion. Especially Just Communication opens the show in a powerful note. Moreover, and here's my aesthetic critique, because people think people are obsessed with just the music, but I'm obsessed with like communicating aesthetic ideal. So the imagery of Relina and the teddy bear in the snow made a big impression on me, because it's a juxtaposition between a violent war and a tender moment. And yeah, definitely like Just Communication, really, really good song. I still listen to it. There's just something very noble about this anime, and I'm still gonna talk about it in the future. And as I said, like, what I'm gonna do is watch the first Gundam, because I've never watched it, and I'm really excited about it. And then the other song is It's Just Love by Rumi Ohishi. Steals the show. Again, the same effect with a very calming ending, being the juxtaposition of a war theme anime. So people say I'm critical of some like British, German, or even American bands who sometimes do this juxtaposition, but I feel, apart from Sum 41, like, I feel a lot of them like end up just cheapening their show, like their music video, when they do like a funny music video, but a serious song. Like, some did it really well on pieces, but like messed it up a lot on. I think it's We're All to Blame. Yeah, exactly, that one. Like, I didn't really like it because it was just too goofy, so they messed it up, and I feel Wizard does this as well. So, but here the juxtaposition is warranted because it's more serious. Like, it's more about being tender as opposed to being funny. Also, Relina, and this will upset all these like quote unquote feminists and all these prudes. Like, Relina is really hot and like she's smart as well. It was cool seeing her doing more laid back activities. And this is a problem with social justice warrior people. It's like they want to deny male desire for females. They think, oh, that's misogynistic. Like, they're weirdos and prudes and stuff like that. Like, I don't really want to bother with them and taint the legacy of my show, like talking about all these people. But like, you just get the idea. I think Relina is beautiful. She's hot. She's smart, and she's also excellent in diplomacy. So there he goes. Like, Endless Waltz. So after I finished the show, guys, I actually watched Endless Waltz. So I spent a lot of time writing this, actually. Like, I wrote this essay 2 years ago, but I was doing it a lot, like, it just wasn't like, oh, like, I just wrote whatever. Like, I watched the whole series, then watched the whole movie and write on my notes. So it was a OVA. For those of you guys who don't know what an OVA is, it's an original video animation to conclude the anime. Since the anime had ended too abruptly, Sumisawa returned as a writer while Aoki steps in as the director. The OVA picks up where the series left off. I won't go into any spoilers. However, the villain, plot, and main antagonists are much weaker. Yeah, I was disappointed with the villain. Despite this, we see standout moments from Hiro, Ufe, and Quattro. Moreover, we also see the return of Dorothy. Furthermore, I feel the OVA was slightly better than the show at exploring the themes of war and peace. Finally, the ending of the OVA feels like a satisfying ending to both the OVA and the anime. So yeah, like, my thoughts on it, I think it was good. I said 8.5. That's a good ranking. And conclusion, very element with memorable characters, interesting philosophical themes, epic music. I highly recommend it. So yeah, guys, excellent show, highly recommend it. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next video. More Gundam to come.